Sonny Boy deals with a lot of themes, but all of them end up serving the same question of why we should look at reality. If pain can be avoided by creating your own worlds and fantasies, then what's wrong with running away if what you're running from is despair? The choice between two worlds plagues the characters throughout the show. We know that it's possible to return, but that world would be a world where they're unfamiliar with anyone. People already moved on there, and there was no guarantee that everyone would be the same person. This is also a slight commentary on what makes a person. It's experiences. What someone experiences can change them drastically. We see this throughout media. It's similar to the thesis paradox, and how if you keep on having different experiences, eventually, when will you stop being the same person you were? The most obvious examples of this would be Rajani. He lived for so long and experienced so many different worlds that by the end of the show, he's almost unrecognizable, and he literally turns into a forest. Them They Are Now has been alive for over 2,000 years, living through multiple different choices and experiences, starting with the formation of society and multiple others to explore were the other worlds. To expect everyone to be the same would simply be stupidity. Then why choose the real world if the current world works and you're happy about who's in it? It ultimately boils down to stagnation. Nagara is like a lot of character. Starts off avoiding all connection, not wanting to be a bother to anyone, and also trying to avoid a heartbreak of losing someone. But when the drift happens, we learn it's partly because of him. This worlds largely reflect his mental state at the beginning of the story. The world doesn't let them age further than the age they were when they drifted, representing how he couldn't see himself changing from his current self. Another example would be how death didn't exist for a long time. Humans weren't meant to live forever, especially in a world where everyone and everything stays the same. We see this in characters like the two brothers who are fighting for God knows who long, and Asakaze. As the story goes on, it becomes more and more apparent why death is an important part of life, because without death, life becomes meaningless, as the world was, and as Nagara saw life. Hope usually is the cliche answer to these types of problems. You see it everywhere in media. To hold out hope, and lines like, "What are we without hope?" And while these are certainly positive sentiments, it's sort of unrealistic. Media usually treats hope as this permanent fix to all your problems, when in reality, consistently holding on to hope is genuinely one of the hardest things a human can do. Yes, in this series, hope is one of the main factors, but it's handled more realistically by the fact that they have to struggle to keep hope. They open themselves to more pain and more disappointment, while it would be easier to choose despair. So then the natural question is, why choose hope? Life is unpredictable, and nothing is ever guaranteed. The path of avoidance would leave you to facing less pain, but does it really? If you constantly ignore and deny yourself of what you feel, you might think you're avoiding pain, but in reality, you're only getting comfortable in the certainty it gives you. While hope might have the same pain, it at least gives your life a purpose to fight for the happiness, not only for yourself, but the ones you love as well. But what if reality is meaningless? Nihilism is one of the topics Sonny Boy flirts with, and might even acknowledge that it's true. An idea like nihilism is a total antithesis to the message of hope and looking at reality, so why would someone even add something like it into the show? But in this lies the pure genius of Sonny Boy. It proposes that to live is to hope, and to despair is to be dead. So if you're truly alive in a world of meaninglessness, then all you can do is to hope for meaning that you can create for yourself. I want to talk about the ending with Nozomi, because it seems like a lot of people didn't like it, which is fine, but some people didn't understand why it happened, and they call it bad writing. The ending deals with how disappointment is a part of hope. In the last episode, we see Nagara trying to meet up with Nozomi, but we learn that she's basically a different person from before. This was one of the fears they had about coming back to the real world. But then, the show just ends there. But people forget that Nozomi is an entirely different person, as we see her keep some of her same personality, and when she helps the bird, like how her old self would. The only difference between these two is the fact that they went through two completely different lives, yet are fundamentally still the same. This ending forces us to look at reality, just like how it forces Nagara to do so. Just because he's back in the real world doesn't mean everything will be sunshine and rainbows. He still has to go to work and go to school, and the entire episode it's been raining. But it still doesn't distract from the fact that he has hope and is willing to work towards a future with either Nozimir or without. That's why the show never gives us a concrete answer to if they became friends again. So if this world has death now, why did Nagara choose to go back to the real world? Nagara's choice to go back seemed to be the quote-unquote right choice. I mean, the story kind of makes it seem to be the right one, even though this world has death now. So why go back to a reality you probably don't belong in anymore? The current you hasn't been back in the world for a while now, so you've already become accustomed to these worlds. So why go back? I believe it's because while everyone else in this world are satisfied living in a fantasy world outside of their real mundane lives, Nagara and Mizuho understand the real world is reality, and not facing that leads to more meaningless experiences in a world they've already seen for everything in it. They understand that it's time to move on to a different future and a different world they still haven't faced or explored yet. Looking at reality is about looking at the truth of the world and changing yourself through experience to build a better future for yourself and your loved ones. And if you find that life truly is meaningless, then that only leaves you with hope to find meaning in everything you do and love. Sorry for the late upload. This should have been uploaded last week, but I low-key got lazy. And yeah, my bad. But we're back now. Peace.